So I assume if you clicked on this video, you want to quickly improve your productivity. Well, you came to the right place because I'm going to go over 8 small changes that you can do right now today and implement them that would give you very fast results very, very quickly. Hello everyone, my name is Jonathan Aquino. I help teach the next generation. So these 8 small changes I have personally been doing in the span of the entire time I've been practicing these time management techniques and being a time management coach. And these are very easy to do, very easy to think about, but they have a very huge impact in your goals and your productivity and your time management and whatever you may want to achieve very quickly, because these don't take a lot of effort to do. You just have to internalize them and maybe put a bit of effort, maybe 10-15 minutes to dedicate, but otherwise they should be very easy, very straightforward things. So first thing would be to prioritize tasks. And what I mean by that is you want to make sure you have the tasks that you want to make sure you are putting a lot of your effort on. And why this is important is because if you kind of just try and do everything randomly at random intervals, what'll happen is you won't be using your energy to the fullest. You won't be using your time to the fullest. If you have like 1 to 3 things that you have to do every day, and that's the only thing, so you can focus on those things very heavily. So I would recommend the Eisenhower matrix, where I've gone over that before on another video on my channel, but if you look it up as well, it's dividing all of your tasks into 4 different categories, and the category you want to focus on would be urgent and important, and that would be the main priorities that you focus on during your day. So prioritization, very easy to do and very important, so as to use your energy the best way possible. This also goes in line with setting very clear goals. So you want to make sure you have a very, very crystal clear idea of what your goals are. You want to make sure you know exactly why you're working on what you're working on. You don't want to just work on stuff randomly for any particular reason. You need to have a very clear, defined goal. So an easy way to do this would be using the SMART goals. I have done that in the past. I personally don't use them anymore. I have my set goals, but they are a very, very, very good way to kind of introduce yourself to goal setting and the goal habit itself. And if it's you can look it up. I think it's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. That's the central idea of it. I would definitely look more into it if you don't know how to set goals in the first place. But that's the general outline you should follow for SMART goals. Next thing I would implement is to do your absolute best to eliminate distractions. This one is probably the most key, because everyone has so many distractions and you may not realize it. Your workstation might be dirty, you have your phone on, you have your notifications on, your phone's in your room. Like there's so many different things that just limit you so much. Like if your phone is in your room, in your desk while you're working, that's like 50% less productive time. Like get your phone out of there, turn off the notifications. It doesn't need to be there. You don't need to check your social media. You don't need to check any of that. You don't need to go on YouTube to do any of your work. You really don't. You're just coping. Remove all of your distractions as best as you can so you can focus more on your work. Every distraction will cost you like 10 to 15 minutes of focus every single time. To make sure all your distractions are gone, so you can get to work very fast and very efficiently, because you want to get through your work fast, right? So eliminate distractions, focus on work when it's work time. When it's not work time, sure, go ahead, but work time is work time and nothing else. Then I would say to take regular breaks. So what I mean by that is taking breaks after long stretches of work. So if you work like 2 hours straight, maybe take like a 20-minute break. That's what I personally do. But don't be an idiot and take a break and go, all right, so I'll do like work for an hour and I'll take like a 3-hour break. No, you're stupid. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's a terrible idea. You take an hour break and maybe take 10-minute break, or hour work, 10-minute break. You do 3 hours of work, 30-minute break. Like should be a bit, easy to understand that concept. If you want a technique of sorts, use the Pomodoro. It's that same principle, but it's a lot shorter time of working. So you work for maybe 25 minutes and then take a break for 5 and just keep repeating that. But as you go on more and more and you're doing this for a while, like myself, you can go for extended periods of time working and be completely fine. So find your time and find your time of break. And when you take your breaks, be reasonable. Don't waste it on like social medias. Don't do on pointless stuff. do maybe stretching, meditation, go on a walk, do other things that your brain can recover. Because if you spend your time on social media and such, that your brain has to focus on all that and actually think about that. And that's not going to help you in the long run. Now, this next point I have is about using productivity tools. The only tool that I currently use right now would just be my Google Calendar, mainly just to have everything time blocked and everything on my calendar. There's other softwares that you can obviously use. I haven't personally tested most of them because I feel that I just don't necessarily need them. I'll probably will begin testing them in the future. But for right now, if you need productivity tools, I would say use your Google Calendar, put all of your things on the Google Calendar, fill out the rest of the time. Bada bing, bada boom, you have yourself a time block calendar. Just follow that and you'll be all right. It's pretty straightforward. I've done multiple videos on it explaining it. So find those if you want to learn more about that time blocking technique. Then the next one would actually be one that may surprise some of you. It would be to kind of practice mindfulness. So in the sense of maybe incorporating a pretty short meditation routine, or what I would recommend, because meditation, everyone hears that and rolls their eyes. I would say taking some long, deep breaths. So, breathing in for a couple of seconds, breathing out for a couple of seconds, maybe doing that 3 to 5 times. That will, I don't know why, but it honestly reduces so much of that stress I'll have while working. And I feel a lot better. I feel a lot more relaxed, and I can feel like I continue working. So if you're going to work for an extended period of time, take some deep breaths. The meditation would be better, but if you don't want to do it because you hear meditation and you think it sucks, taking the deep breaths also works. But meditation, I do it. Fantastic. Highly recommend it. And the last thing that I would do if I wanted to quickly improve the productivity would be to review and reflect the progress that I've done on a day by day basis or weekly basis. So just making sure that you're double checking, okay, did my work get done? Did I do the work I wanted to do? Why did I get distracted at this point? Why didn't I do this at that point? You want to make sure you know what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how you can improve or what's worked. You want to make sure you know what's going on and making sure you make adjustments, maybe keep everything the same if everything's working well, and making sure you're up to date on what you need to do. Because if you're trying to keep it the same, you're going to stay stagnant because you're going to keep all the bad stuff. So you want to keep all the good stuff that's working well and take out the bad stuff and replace it with good stuff. It's all about testing and optimization. It's going to take time for you to find your optimal routine. But when you've got your optimal routine, really hard to stop your momentum. So make sure you're always reviewing and reflecting So if you implement these 8 strategies or implement a variety of them, you will find that your productivity significantly improves because these all kind of intertwine and help each other. But the thing is, it's going to take time and you have to find that right balance. So it will take maybe a couple days, couple of weeks to kind of find your rhythm and find that like glue that sticks you together in terms of time management and productivity. But when you do have it, then you're going to really feel those benefits and really feel those gains in terms of productivity and time management. So make sure you optimize, you find your right balance, find what works for you. For example, for the Pomodoro, I can work 2 to 3 hours, take a 30-minute break, and I'm completely fine. For you, you may be only able to do an hour, and you may need like a 20-minute break. That's fine. Find your optimal balance. That's the only thing that really matters here. We both work differently, so find your rhythm like I have found my rhythm. So if you found these tips helpful, you definitely want to check out my video on the 4 mistakes that new entrepreneurs do. That one I go more in depth into other things that if you're an entrepreneur, people get wrong. And I used to get wrong as well. And if you want to take back control of your time, check the links down below in the description.